I'm going to go ahead and start the recording. So tonight for our Title I meeting, we need documentation of who has attended. So in the Zoom group chat, if you will please put the parent's name and then your child or children's names in there so that we know who is attending. And plus the class that has the most attending students will also receive an award. So we want to make sure that they get credit for that. So go ahead and do that if you have not done that at this time. And I'm going to go ahead and start. I have about a 10-minute presentation on what it means to be a Title I campus. So I am going to share my screen. If you would please make sure that your microphone is muted at all times unless we ask a question or you need to comment. Any questions you have for me or for anyone, if you would also put that in the group chat. Our counselor, Mrs. Renault, is monitoring the chat and will let me know whenever there are questions that I can answer. And if I don't get a chance to answer them when we are together this evening, then I will be sure to answer those, get back with you to answer those. For those of you who don't know, my name is Candy Shari. I'm the principal here at Scurry. So Scurry Elementary. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and share my screen and we're going to go ahead and get started. And so that way we can get to the teachers sharing different ideas and things that you can do at home with your children. All right, so for those of you just joining us, please put your name and your child's name in the chat so we know who's here.
Miss Shari.
Yes.
What grades, because I've got kids in all kinds of classes or grades, what grades, is it like for first grade or what grades is this?
You can, well, it's for our campus. So if you have the names of the students who are in pre-K, kinder, first, second, or third.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
So I need to get different kids in here. Okay. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Okay. Ms. Renault, can you see my screen? Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to talk briefly about what it means to be a Title I campus. We appreciate those of you who are here tonight. You're probably wondering why I'm talking about this. The Elementary and Secondary School Act, which is Title I Part A, requires that each Title I school hold an annual meeting for the parents and family whose children receive Title I services. So I need to inform you about our participation in Title I, explain some of the requirements, and also to explain to you what you can do to be involved on our campus. So tonight we're going to talk briefly about what it means to be Title I. We are going to look at where you can access the campus improvement plan and also our parental involvement policy, along with a school and parent compact that you will be given. We're going to talk about how Title I funds are used, what curriculum and forms of academic assessments are used to measure student progress, and how to request information about the qualifications of your child's teachers. And also when you're going to be notified if your child is taught by a teacher who's not certified, and also how and when the annual evaluation of our parent engagement policy and program is conducted, and the ways that you can be involved. So if you've ever wondered what is a Title I school, what that means is that it's a school in which children from low-income families make up at least 40% of the enrollment. And that school then becomes eligible to use Title I funds for school-wide programs that serve all children in the school. One of the requirements is a campus improvement plan. And what this does is over the summer, I conduct a needs assessment, and toward the end of the school year, and I take that needs assessment and I come up with different goals and objectives and strategies to address those needs. And I'll list like what we're going to do as far as professional development, what resources do we need, strategies that we are going to apply to meet those goals. And at any time, Title I parents have the right to be involved in the development of the CIP. And I'm going to talk to you about how you have that right. So if you're wondering where our CIP is located, if you go to our Scurry Rosser homepage under accountability right here. It will take you to our high school, middle school, and elementary school campus improvement plans, and you can locate that and look it over. Ours is about 68 pages, so I don't have time tonight to do that, but you're more than welcome to do that on your own. Our new improvement plan for this school year has not been updated on our district webpage yet because the school board has not approved our current CIP, but it will be shortly. Okay, another part is our parent and family engagement policy. And this policy just, shows ways that we're going to involve parents in an organized, ongoing, and timely way, where they're going to help with planning and reviewing and improving of parent and family engagement programs. We provide timely information about parent and family engagement activities. We let you know of things that are going on that you can be involved in. And it also, we like to keep you involved about the curriculum and assessments. Teachers are not doing that. Oh, remember, guys, mute your microphone. Hello, if you're just now joining us, please sign in the chat and put your parents put your name with your child's name. And also, if you are at any time wanting an additional meetings with your teacher, with me, to discuss decisions for the education of your child, you can do that at any time. And again, parents have the right to be involved in that parent and family engagement policy. I'm going to show you where you can locate that. When you go to our Scurry-Rosser ISD homepage, toward the bottom, if you go down, you can see right here, SRES Campus Parent and Family Engagement Plan. If you click on that, it has been updated for this year. It's about 5 pages. If you want to take the time to read over that and to see what that all entails. Okay, all right. Another thing, part of Title I is the School and Parent Compact. It's a written agreement, and there's a committee, a parent involvement committee. There's the site-based decision-making committee. We all get together, and we have some parent representatives on this committee, and together we come up with the school parent compact for Title I. And it describes how parents and families and school staff and students share the responsibility for improved student academic achievement. It addresses high quality curriculum and instruction to meet the state academic standards. It tells the ways in which parents will support their child's learning, and it stresses the importance of frequent communication between school and home and the value of parent-teacher conferences. And we require parent-teacher conferences, one in the fall and one in the spring. And during your fall conference is whenever the teacher will go over the Title I School Parent Compact, and the teacher will then give it to you to sign, and you will give that back to us. And just so you know, parent-teacher conferences will be sometime in October, and that's whenever you will receive the compact. And so this is just a way that affirms the importance of parents and families and decisions related to the education of your children. So if you've ever seen a parent-teacher compact, it looks like this right here. It just tells you, as a parent, this is what you're going to do. As a student, this is what students' responsibilities, what the responsibilities are, and staff members on our campus. And so this is where I sign it, student signs it, parent signs it, and it's just a compact that we are going to work together to give your child the best education possible. So be expecting to receive that from your child's teacher at the next parent conference. As part of Title I, our teacher qualifications, if for some reason your child's teacher does not have the required qualifications, you will be notified. If you are wondering what your child's teacher's qualifications are, you can call up here to the office or the district office and make a request to find that information out. Just so you know, as far as our curriculum and assessment here at Scurry-Rosser Elementary, for pre-K, they use what's called the CLI Engage. And that's an assessment. Kinder through 2nd grade this year will use Amplify M-Class for reading that lets us know how they're doing in the area of literacy. We use DRA testing to get reading levels, and they also do unit assessments in math and reading for 2nd grade. 3rd grade, of course, we have that state assessment, the STAR, that they will be taking this year. You will hear more about it from your child's teacher if you have a 3rd grader. We also do benchmark testing throughout the year with using Release STAR test twice, 2 times a year. They also just are working on this week their MAP testing that will give parents information, and they also do unit assessments throughout the year. For curriculum, pre-K uses the Texas Pre-K Guidelines, and they use a program called CLI Engage in Frog Street. K through 3rd grade, we of course follow our TEKS, which are the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, and we use the TEKS resource system. You probably have heard of Fontes and Pinnell Classroom that your teachers use, along with Stacks and Phonics. They might use the Go Math, Pearson Math, and Mentoring Minds. All right, so of course, whenever we're considered a Title I campus, that comes along with Title I funds, and our funds are used to help each child receive a high quality education. And also we use our funds to help develop an effective parent and family engagement program. So our funds are based on the needs assessment that I do yearly, that we do, and I put that in our campus improvement plan. So some examples of ways that we may use some funds is for a preschool program, recruitment and retention of effective teachers, any equipment or materials or training needed to help improve our students' performance, anything that we need as far as interventions or even technology, devices, software. Those are just a few examples of things that we may use our funds for. Additional information, just remember, as part of Title I, information on the level of achievement and academic growth of the student on state academic assessments can be shared with you. Your teachers will give you more information about that. And plus, we always put on our district website whenever, STAR results, and if your teachers will share with you results from different achievements assessments that they give your child. And then of course, at any time, if your child has been assigned a teacher who does not meet the applicable state certification requirements at that grade level, you will be informed. As of right now, every teacher in our school is teaching in a position that where we meet the applicable state certification requirements, so no one needs to worry about that. Every year we evaluate toward the end of the year the effectiveness of the parental involvement policy and programs. We identify barriers to participation. We look at data. I like to send out parent questionnaires and surveys. And then we just have like a parent advisory committee where we have some parent representatives who give us some input, and then we report the findings to parents and families, and we use this in whenever I am creating the parent involvement policy and also in the campus improvement plan in the school compact at the end of the year. So just remember different ways that you can be involved in our school. This year is a little bit different with us being not able to have guests on campus, but hopefully as soon as this gets clears up and we can have guests back on campus, we've got things, and not just for this year, but for every, for future years too. Anytime classes go on field trips, we normally have a fall carnival that we're not going to get to have this year. Class parties, PTO is a wonderful place to be involved and do things to help out our campus. Volunteering. Anytime you want to be a part of the parent involvement committee or serve on our site-based decision-making committee, please contact me and let me know, and I will definitely get you signed up for that. So if at any time you're wondering who to contact, I'm the principal, so you can contact me. You can call up here if you have questions for Robin Renault, is our school counselor. Julia Standiford is our school nurse. And Tina Pruitt is our food service director. If you have any questions about free and reduced lunch, or if you have any questions about our food services and signing up for the free and reduced lunch, because that's actually how they decide if we qualify as a Title I campus is based on that. And so if you have not signed up for or filled out the application for free and reduced lunch, you can do that at any time. And if you need help, contact Tina Pruitt or call up here and we will be glad to help you. Okay, for parents who are just now joining us, thank you. I just gave a quick overview of what it means to be a Title I campus. If you have not signed in, under the group chat, if you would please put your name and also your child's name, so we have documentation of who has all joined us this evening. All right, we're going to go ahead and get on now with, as part of Title I, we like to give parents activities and strategies to use at home to help your child academically. So each grade level, kinder, first, second, and third, is going to take turns sharing with you virtually of some things that you can do at home to help your child. And so I am going to find third grade. There we go. Third grade, if you would please, go ahead and unmute yourself.
All right, can everyone hear us?
Yes. Hey, let me find you, Miss Warren. I'm trying to find you to make you. Oh, you know what? Third grade. I said third grade. We're going to start with kindergarten. I promised Kinder we would start first. I'm sorry. Y'all can wait for third grade. We're going to start third grade for last. So, all right, Kinder, we're ready.
Hello, I'm Tiffany Grubbs and Debbie Gray. Angela Mead and Kelly Jones is not able to be with us tonight. So we're just going to talk to you a few things that you can help your child with kindergarten, with reading, math, and sight words.
We're going to switch cameras so that you can see some of our activities. So we send home some basic sight words every week that you can cut apart and just use as flashcards with your child at home. But if you wanted to do something different, you could even, like these were the words that we would put on our word wall. So we've kind of used some different colors. And then we've also cut out our words so that they represent the shape of the letters. Sometimes just noticing the formation of the letters will help your child remember those. So, but if you don't have to make them in color if you don't want to, you could even write them on colored note cards and just put a quick box around it so that it highlights the shape of the letters. So that's one way that they could practice them in a little bit different way. Another thing that we like to do at school is to play sight word SWAT. So a lot of these things you can buy at the dollar store. So I just have kind of a variety of different fly swatters in the classroom. And so the student would pick one, and then I would call out a word, and then they would just slap it with the fly swatter. So we call that sight word SWAT. So that's just another fun way to practice those. And of course you have your sight word book that the students should be bringing home every week that has a list in here of every week, different list. And then whether they have mastered the list or not. When they master the list, we put a sticker in there. But it's, again, just to remind everyone of the importance of learning those sight words. And I wanted to share one other activity. If you really wanted to do something different, there's a lot of resources online. I purchased this set from Teachers Pay Teachers, and I paid like $3 for the set. And so you wouldn't need a printer with color ink to print this out. But as you can see, they're in a shape of a bug. So if you want to play sight word SWAT, and then the words are in the shape of the little bug here, and then maybe you call those out, and they would just use a different fly swatter. So just kind of a fun way to practice those. And those fly swatters and things can be purchased at the dollar store. Okay, and
hey, Miss Gray.
Yes.
I forgot to pin your video to where it was on the big screen. Can you just go over real quickly about these sight words that you have laying right there again? We weren't able to see them a
Oh,
minute ago.
yes.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. These are the sight words that we would put up on our word wall. And I was just making a note of something so that the student is paying attention to whether they're tall letters, they're short letters, or or they hang down below what the line is. So sometimes just noticing the formation of the letters helps that kind of be cemented in the student's mind as to what the word is. And then also, if you wanted to do some different, I think you saw this, you can play sight word swap with any of these. And then I just had these cards that had the shape of the bug, the word in the bug, and then I could use the different fly swatters just to kind of change it up, because students at this age really thrive on the novelty. And so if you can just switch up the practice, it just makes things a lot more fun. Okay.
Okay, another activity that we would like to share, it's super easy, and if your children are still working on learning the alphabet and putting them in the correct order and the correct way, you can get magnetic letters, and you could just get a simple pizza pan or anything that magnets would stick to. You can get it at the dollar store or Dollar Tree, and it's just good practice to, mix the letters up and then call them out, put them in order, things like that, so they can see that, oh, that's upside down. Let's make sure that we turn it around. Also, you can use magnetic letters, as Ms. Gray was saying, to even study their sight words. So just a different way to study. You could get them spelling, let's see, like big is a word this week. So you could get them, to build it, B-I-G. You could get them to put it in the correct order, sound it out, and that way they can see it a different way. So just magnetic letters, you can do a lot of different things with those, and you can get them anywhere for very cheap.
Okay, we're going to move on to different things that we can do with numbers in math, with counting, number recognition, simple addition, subtraction. These are a couple of different things. Playing cards, dominoes, dice. You can get these. Both of these right here came from the Dollar Tree. They were $1 for a set of 2 or 4. So very inexpensive things to use. But when we're starting out with number recognition, we just have them roll, and then they would count how many are on there, and they can tell you verbally, or you can have them actually practice writing the number. You can just use paper, or if you have a whiteboard, dry erase board, those are also at Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree's great. So that's a simple way to practice counting and writing the numbers, doing formation. The same type of thing you can use with your dominoes. You can just have them count and tell you how many, or you can split them in half and have them add. So they would do 3 on this side plus 5, and then find the answer for that. And then the same thing can be done with playing cards. You just have them pick 2. There's a 6 and a 3, and then they could add those up or just count and tell you how many they are. Anything to kind of make it fun and different, to practice their numbers, counting, simple addition, subtraction. If you have older children, they can do the same thing with multiplication, division. You can do it for all different levels. So those are our activities for kindergarten.
All right, thank you, kindergarten. Those are some great ideas. And like Miss Mead said, the Dollar Tree can be your best friend whenever you're going to look for things that your students can use, your children can use at home. All right, we're going to move on to first grade. First grade, if you will unmute yourself, and we're going to see what activities you have planned for us. Okay, I'm going to make your screen, spotlight your video. Miss Renaud, did it work? Okay, wonderful. First grade, go ahead and get started.
All right. Well, we had a lot of the same ideas that kindergarten did. We just found a little pencil box, and we're going to call it a math toolbox. And this is something that you can make at home with things that you have around the house. It doesn't have to be anything special, things from the Dollar Tree. And then it's just in a handy little box. when you have a few minutes, you're making dinner or whatever, their children are there, this is something you can just grab and do a little activity with, you know, very quick and easy. And we have some subitizing cards, and these are just index cards, and you can get the little sticker dots, or you know, you can even draw these dots on here, but draw these in various shapes to show different numbers, so you can flash it up and say, you know, you show it to your child for just a second or 3 seconds or so and see if they can tell you, oh, that's 8. Okay, we want them to be able to see the number and know what it is. Same thing though, with playing cards, a lot of wonderful things that you can do with playing cards. One thing that first graders like to do is play the game of war. So, you know, you deal out the cards and one person turns it over, the other person turns it over. Who wins, who has the bigger number? And this really starts them thinking about comparing numbers. Having things just to count, okay, and these can be beans, these can be just anything that you have around the house. Dominoes are great. You can play, when they're in first grade, they're old enough to start playing games with dominoes, and they learn a lot with games. Dice is the same, lots of dice games. If you can have a button collection, a lot of great things you can do with buttons. You can have them sort the buttons. So maybe you're going to put all of the blue buttons in one place and the yellow buttons over here, orange over here. And then when they get them all sorted, say, oh, well, that's wonderful. Now can you do it another way? And have them think about, okay, what's another way that I could sort these? Well, we can sort them by their shapes. So I would put my stars together. I would put my circles together, my squares together. So it's just a way to get them thinking about different values and doing things more than one way. So math toolbox, just a handy little box that you keep ready to go. A number chart is another excellent thing to have. And from have your child practice counting. And that is really great. But another wonderful thing that you can do with your number chart is pick a number and ask your child, okay, what number comes before this number, right? What number comes after the number? Okay. What number is 10 less? What number is 10 more? And start playing those games so they start manipulating these numbers and the amounts that they represent in their heads. Another quick thing is and I'm sorry, people, my screen is on mirror, so everything looks backwards to you. I apologize, but you still get the idea. But just take a sheet of paper, maybe take 2 pieces of paper, tape them together, make a long strip, and make a number line. And so many things that we do with a number line. Practice counting is the obvious one, but you can also practice adding and subtracting. So if I say 6 plus 4 equals what? So I would start at 6 and hop over 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 10. So this is a quick and easy way that they can practice addition, subtraction, counting, and so forth. So those are our math ideas, and I'm going to flip my camera if I can. There we go. And for our reading, what we decided to do is really just talk about the real important thing about reading. And in first grade, our big focus is on reading. And we wanted to talk about that more than anything because it's the foundation of everything that comes after. And according to research, there's one thing that parents can do to help their children be successful in school. And the research is very clear on this. There is no more important activity for preparing your child to succeed than simply reading together. So reading aloud is the foundation for literacy development. It is the #1 best thing parents can do to help their children succeed. Just read to them. Children always need to see how a thing is done. Before we can expect them to do it, we've got to show them how to do it, how it's done. And when we read aloud with our children, that's what we're doing. We're showing them how it's done. It shows them how we phrase our words. It shows them how reading is fluent. It reveals the rewards of reading, and it helps develop an interest in books and a desire to be a reader. But that's not all. It develops understanding skills that your child will need. Children can listen on a higher level than they can read on, so reading makes complex ideas more accessible and exposes children to vocabulary, language patterns, and thought processes that are not normally a part of their everyday speech experience. So think of all the words that children that are read to hear, and the ideas, and the language. Every time you read, it just goes up and up and up. So it stimulates their brain processes, it stimulates their imagination, it expands their understanding of the world, and it helps develop listening skills. When a child hears, "Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon, the little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon," they hear the rhythm, they hear the rhyme, and it's music to their ears. They hear the ups and the downs of our voices. They hear us pausing. They hear us emphasizing certain words. And children will quickly pick up on the tune of our words, and they'll have fun trying to read that story themselves with the same expression that we do. So when we read aloud, we're developing our children's language, and when we develop that, learning to read will be as natural as learning to walk and talk. Most parents lead very busy lives, especially now, but you should try to read with your child at least once a day at a regularly scheduled time. And don't be discouraged if you skip a day or don't always keep your regular schedule. The important thing is that you read as often as you can, every opportunity. You're helping to build foundational skills, introduce vocabulary, provide a model of fluent, expressive reading, and help your child learn to love reading. So reading aloud has enormous benefits for your child. It is the single most important activity for building the knowledge required for successful reading. So gather some books. This doesn't even have to cost you a penny. The Kaufman County Library is open and free. They give you a library card, and once a week, make that trip. When you go to Walmart or somewhere and your child says, "Oh, can I get this? Can I get that?" And you have to say, "No, no, no." If you're like most parents, "No, no, no." But at the library, you can say, "Yes, yes, 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 get that, yes." Pile up the books and then spend the whole week reading them. At my house, when my children were growing up, when they were young, a bedtime story, or 3 or 4 or 5, was as much a part of their going to bed routine as taking a bath, brushing their teeth, putting on their pajamas. It was a normal part of their day. So grab a child, grab a good book, and enjoy. And it would go something like this. This is a wonderful book to read. Good night, Moon. And all you do is cuddle up with your child, find a comfortable place. The child is close. We read with expression. We read with joy. Even if we've read it 5,000 times, we let the joy of our reading come through to our children, and we read. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon, and you go on and on. So grab a child, grab a book, get comfortable, and enjoy each other's company, and enjoy a good book, and enjoy reading. That's it.
Wonderful job. Awesome job, Miss McLean and Mr. Bling and Miss Vick. Y'all did wonderful. Lots of good ideas. Okay, second grade, we are going to spotlight your video, and if you can unmute yourself and go ahead and share a few ideas with us.
I'm not sharing anything. I'm doing homework.
No, it's why
Can you flip it right here?
it's upside down.
Oh, it's
But we're gonna just kind of piggyback on what first grade was talking about, the importance of reading. And
Hey, everybody.
I'm sorry that's backwards, but it's super important for kiddos to be reading at night. 20 minutes. It can either be with a parent, it can be the parent reading to them while they look at the words, or shared reading where a parent reads a page, a kid reads a page. A lot of our kids missed a lot of our guided reading instruction last year because of the COVID.
Me.
So being able to catch them up and read them at home is super important. So you'll eventually soon be getting these bags at home with our guided reading books, and we'll be sending logs with it. We'll need to read these books every single night. And since Ms. McLean is explaining that, we're going to go ahead and talk about spelling words. So different activities you can do with spelling every night is to just write the word a few times. Another night, you could take 5 words and put them in ABC order. Another way to practice your spelling words is to take each word and write a sentence for them. These spelling words are important because it's teaching and reinforcing the skills like the digraphs, the combinations that we are teaching in class. So that's where these spelling words come from, and those are just a few activities that y'all can do for.
So I'm going to talk briefly about fluency and comprehension because they work beautifully together. When a child reads fluent, that means that they read quickly and they do not stumble over the words. They can focus on the meaning, which is the comprehension. And when a child understands what he or she is reading, they will increase their vocabulary. A parent might ask, my child reads slow and choppy. They mainly sound out every word, but what you need to do is make sure you lower the reading level and show your child the fluency and the comprehension of the book, and they'll be able to comprehend what they're reading, which is so important. It's better to start off with a lower level and work up to have your kid be successful. So we want these kids reading, and please read 20 minutes a night so we can show improvement. Oh, and also we have cards, and we're going to send these cards home. They're fiction and nonfiction. Sorry, it's backwards. But it's so important to when you read with your child, these are cards that stop and ask them questions. If you had to become a character in the story, which one would you be and why? What is your favorite passage in the story? And give them your viewpoint, and let them tell and include other family members. Change the ending of the story. Describe your new ending. How does this story remind you of anything? And we've been talking about connections in the classroom, and they will be able to make a connection. And then also read nonfiction books. Pretend you're explaining this topic to a friend who doesn't know anything about it. What are they saying? Name a new word that you learned. What did you learn about this topic? Or after reading this text, I want to learn more about. So these are cards that we will send home tomorrow, and cut them and put them in Ziploc bags and draw out 3 cards or 2 cards, and please read with your child 20 minutes a night. Thank you.
Okay, again, like kinder and first grade was talking about, cards are really good for math, addition facts and everything. One game is called I See 10, and your deck of cards, you're going to take out all the 10s and the face cards. Then you would spread the cards out, and you can do this in groups or with your child, and you randomly turn over a card, and if it's 10, they go, oh, there's 10, and you would take them up. If they weren't 10, then you would take them and put them back in the card. You also could do, like this is 6 plus 2, that would be 8. You could say, okay, is that an even number or an odd number? So you could do different things with cards.
Even.
That's right. 8
You
was
are
even.
correct.
Good job.
Okay, so another game that the kids really like this game a lot. It has to do with dice. I don't know if I can fit this on this screen or not, but does it work? So you can have a partner. I guess you'll be the partner. The other kid at the house will be a partner. Then you each have 4 dice, and since they have to be really, well, they really have to understand place value. So this is always going to be good for them to practice. And so what you would do is one of you would take the 4, your 4 dice, and then you kind of you would write the numbers. Oh, I'm upside down. Okay, sorry. You would write your number, and then you would play war. So you would basically be comparing to see who has the
Miss Riley.
hey, the greater number. So
Would we read our numbers?
now you can read your number. So I would have 1,225.
And I would have 3,321.
So then she would be the winner in this.
Hey.
And my number would also be odd.
And my number would also be odd. All right. So there's just a lot of things that you could do with cards. And you could actually do this if you didn't have this many dice at home. With a lot of you could also use cards to play war.
Your poop.
Well, pretty much this.
I have a bunch of dice.
And we'll send home these placemats too. We'll send 2 home.
I have a bunch of dice.
Oh, we'll send these home by Friday. We'll send home the package.
Super. Ew.
Cards in the place value, and you can have a set for your house.
And the directions in case you need them.
Hula hula.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, 2nd grade. Parents, this is a reminder, if you would please make sure that you were staying muted at all times so that we give our teachers the respect that they deserve to explain these awesome activities that they've taken the time to do. 2nd grade, were you finished or did you have another one to explain?
We're good. That's it.
All right. Okay, thank you, 2nd grade. All right, 3rd grade, our final group, 3rd grade. Okay, remember, guests, if you have not signed in, sign in the Zoom group chat so we have a record of who is here this evening. And please keep your device muted so that our teachers can speak without being interrupted. All right, let me spotlight 2nd grade. I mean, not 2nd grade, 3rd grade. All right. Okay, 3rd grade, we're ready for you.
All right, this is Miss Warren.
And Miss Ferguson.
And this is just our math activity.
Hi, Miss Ferguson.
It is very similar to 2nd grades, and it is, again, using dice. And there's some materials that you can buy at the dollar store. So this is just our instruction sheet. This is an actual, like, little pill container that you can find at the Dollar Tree. And we bought these, and they were only, of course, $1. Actually, I think they were 2 for $1. We took fingernail polish remover and removed all of the letters off of the container. Then we got a Sharpie and wrote each one of the places on the container. So we had our ones, tens, hundreds, 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s, and millions. So actually this can be used all the way from first grade, all the way, all the way up to, of course, 4th and 5th grade. But we use them quite often. And this way your dice don't get out of control. They stay right here in place. We have little mini dice that we actually got at the dollar store as well. And so this just keeps everything nice and tidy in their same container.
This is a place value mat. This has ones, tens, and hundreds. And you can find one all the way to the thousands and then 100,000s in 3rd grade. 100,000 is the largest number that they learn. First thing you're going to do is get your container and you're going to shake it. You're going to see the dice and you're going to write the numbers in their correct place. So 500, 2 tens, and 5 ones. In the younger grade, all the way up to 3rd grade, they learn different ways to show the number to represent it. The first one they learn is expanded form. So you would write 500 plus 20 plus 5. This helps the kids know what number is in each place, but what value it is. Another thing they learn is pictorial form, which is picture form. So for the hundreds, they would draw a square, and they would draw 5 of them. For the tens, they would draw rods, which would just be straight lines, 2 of them. And then for ones, they draw units, which would be just a dot, which would be 5 of them. This is a very important concept for them to build numbers because they continue this all the way up to the middle school levels, each of these type of representations. So like we said, this is going to be for your 1st grade. 2nd grade, they would use up to the thousands. And on the pill bottle, of course, they're not going to use these places. And then for 3rd grade, they would go all the way up to 100,000. And then for 3rd grade, you can challenge them by going to the millions.
Now we'll jump in and let reading take over.
Hello, everybody. This is Mrs. Rosewinkle and Miss Palm.
Yep, this is Miss Palm.
So we've got a few fun things. Learning's fun, so we try to make it as fun as we can. One of them is called Roll a Story. So objective, use complete sentences to develop a story or composition. So we have this happy little dice. Once
Another
again,
thing, Dollar Tree.
Thank you. And then you can choose any picture. You can go Google it and find fun picture prompts. You can find, in this day of technology, good gravy. Anyway, check out this picture I'm sharing with you. I love it. And so Miss Palm and I are going to model this activity.
Okay, and just to explain, depending on how you roll, if you rolled, for instance, whoops, and I'm rolling it off the table, if you had 6, it would be using 6 words. So would you like a turn first, Miss Rosewinkle?
Oh, golly gee, I do. Okay.
Did you count 6?
Oh my gatos, that is steep.
So I would roll, oh goodness, we've got another 6. My golly gosh, it truly is.
No. That wasn't a real roll, hang on. I can't swim.
Well, you get the idea, parents, that it's a great fun. You can use pictures out of a book. You can use magazine pictures, or like Miss Rosewinkle said, you can Google fun children's picture prompts. Another thing that you can do, 5-finger retell.
You can have any book. This is an example, Enemy Pie by Derek Munson. Wonderful story. Five Finger Retell. In other words, Miss Rosewinkle. Characters.
Okay, so in Enemy Pie, we have the boy, we have Dad, and we have Jeremy Ross.
Okay, and then the setting would be Two Finger, the second finger, and most of it, some of it happens at school. Jeremy Ross didn't invite the boy to a party, so he was at school. But the exciting thing is the setting changed. It ended up being in a kitchen. Dad had a great idea, so the setting can change. The third is beginning, and then the fourth is middle and end to retell it. So how does it begin, Miss Rosewinkle?
Okay, so he's made this enemy and goes to Daddy, and
I'm
Daddy's.
doing a Zoom meeting.
You remember it?
Yeah, isn't
Enemy
it
Pie?
awesome? Yes, it's the best book ever.
Best book ever.
So he goes to Daddy and says, Dad, I got this enemy. What do I do? And Daddy says, you got to make some enemy pie. So take it from there, Miss.
All right. So the middle, of course, the boy, they never say his name, but Jeremy Ross is the so-called enemy. He was thinking, now, Dad, why are you making a pie? Does it have bugs in it? Does it have worms in it? So it tells about the beginning, the middle, the end, and I'll just show you the treehouse. He was saying enemy pie, but as the final ending, what was so exciting was there bugs and worms in it?
No, ma'am.
It ended up being a really good pie, but in meantime, Dad had a great idea. They ended up being friends. They ended up playing in the treehouse.
So the whole deal about this stuff, guys, is if you can retell a story, you have comprehension, you have understanding, and just kind of breaking down comprehension into an easy thing. We all have 5 fingers, or well, 10 if you want to tell 2 stories.
And another way too, the kids love sequencing: first, next, then, after that, and finally for a retell. So there's another 5-finger retell. One last thing, we totally agree what's been said all night long about the importance of reading with your child. This is a coin flip partner read. If you have just a pin, any kind of coin actually, you can decide whether it's heads for I notice and maybe tails I think. You choose a book, you use sticky notes, places to stop. Flip the coin.
So I flipped a coin,
See?
I flipped heads. Miss Palm, I noticed their heads are really, really big in this story. Well,
so anyway, you can read with your partner and take turns. You can also put sticky notes for where something that you see a word, maybe a new sight word, and you can write it down. You can start a word collector. There's so many fun things you can do with books, with pictures, with dice, with pennies. Use your imagination. And the most important thing is make reading fun.
because it is.
And it is, that's for sure. It was nice.
Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
All right, wonderful job. Thank you, 3rd grade. That was awesome. Lots and lots of wonderful activities from our kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade teachers. So students, let's give them a hand. Clap for them and let them know how much you appreciate them. Tomorrow, whenever you see these students, teachers around campus, let them know that they've given you some wonderful ideas for you to do at home and to try at home. Parents, we hope that you have learned something this evening that you can use at home to reinforce some math skills, some reading skills, some writing skills, because like you've heard over and over and over,
Hi, Jocelyn.
reading at home is so, so important, along with practicing those math facts and anything you get a chance to do to reinforce any skills at home is greatly appreciated, and it will benefit your children tremendously. So parents, we appreciate your support and your dedication and just working with us as a campus to help educate your kids and to give them the best education that they deserve. So thank you for attending our Title I and Math and Literacy event this evening. It's coming up on 6 o'clock, so you have gained lots of great ideas within an hour. So thank you again, and students, we will see you tomorrow bright and early. Staff, you are all wonderful. Lots and lots of great ideas. So have a good evening. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.
Can we stay